Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen, looking at the new roadmap and focusing this time on Star Citizen Alpha Patch 3.3, which should be released around the end of September, while its testing phase is expected to start by the end of August, obviously both for 2018. With each of these items that we're about to discuss, please remember that they may get pushed back to 3.4 in December if they are not ready for the 3.3 patch. The new way CIG operate PU patches or Persistent Universe patches is to release what they have ready every quarter. There is also the potential for extra bits and pieces that are not listed here to be going into that patch as well. Anything that didn't make it into 3.2 will also get here, but there are room for surprises and extra things to be scheduled that have not been talked about. Armor and clothing wise, they are implementing the True Def Pro armor set from Virgil that's commonly used by the advocacy agents. Design, creation, and implementation of various clothes sets as well that will be used by the inhabitants and stores around the Hurston area are also going to be put in. There are going to be more repair mechanics too. They are implementing small personal AMX1 repair bots that were promised in an early stretch goal, and they're also adding functionality for repair ships to fix other ships, whether they be player or NPC ships. Fuel harvesting. The ability for players to harvest fuel elements from clouds, both collection and storage, is going to be added to the fuel mechanics. This basically means starfarers being able to go around and collect fuel and then sell it for monies. AI defense combat. So they are improving existing and developing new and deeper FPS behaviors for the AI and the characters and characteristics of them as well. This will include the ability for enemy AI to defend their ships from boarding attempts as well. Location security. So they're also adding the ability for local security forces, both outlaw and lawful enforcement, to react to violent players both on the ground and around areas. So expect basically the armistice zones to go away, so you'll be able to draw your weapons and fire upon people wherever you want, but there will be security there to prevent you from doing that as more of an in-game restriction for doing that rather than a non-diegetic approach that the armistice zones were. This is great. This is going to allow for lots of clever ways of trying to do interesting missions where you maybe have to avoid security forces, or the potential where you can murder players if set up really, really well, but this again will be balanced as we go forward. Ships and vehicles. The Tumbril Cyclone variants, the Constellation Phoenix, and the Hammerhead are all coming with this patch. That will make a lot of people happy. Ship weapons. They're updating the Amon and Reese Omni Sky line of ship weapons and implementing them into the game. This not only includes the asset creation, but obviously all the animations and design and weapon balancing that goes into that as well. Object container streaming. So this will considerably expand the playable game area and increases performance. The object container streaming is a core pillar of Star Citizen. At its core, object container streaming allows Star Citizen to create the universe. This will also mean that we are no longer restrained by physical memory on your PC, and they're going to be able to stream in new environments, locations, and ships seamlessly as you approach, effectively and efficiently as well, meaning big frame rate increases. This is also one of the biggest wins for performance. Yes, and graphics memory as well will no longer be overloaded. This will give high-end systems more frames and low-end systems more ability to play the game. Cloud tech. So, in regards, I suppose, to the refueling mechanic that creates patches of space that contain raw elements needed to create fuel, this cloud tech will be used there so that we'll have cool little locations to harvest fuel, but the cloud tech in more general will be used on a variety of other systems as well. FOIP and VoIP. So they are adding face over IP and voice over IP into the game that is planned for 3.3. We'll talk more about that in a second. Planet Hurston. They are creating the planet Hurston, and this is also going to cover points of interest positioned around the planet. This includes the primary landing zone, Lawville, but it will also cover populating Lawville with NPCs, missions, stores, points of interest, as well as adding Hurston's 4 moons, Ariel, Aberdeen, Magda, and Eta. This also includes the construction of outposts and populating the planet's surfaces in general, and moon surfaces. Points of interest in space. They are creating and implementing revisions to the comm array stations that are positioned around the universe. These not only facilitate the ability to transfer data, but also provide ECN coverage to report any security violations. They're going to be important for outlaws and lawful players trying to detect things, but also for missions and detection and reputation. Lots of stuff is kind of used for them in some way. Small truck stops are going to be implemented as well. So the base version of the rest or truck stops, these are the modular, procedurally assisted way that they're going to do space stations, and they'll have shops on board. They'll have ways that you can land and transfer cargo, repair your ships and that sort of stuff, and include stores and the air traffic control systems and potentially bespoke characters and that sort of stuff on those stations. Occasionally they'll have hero assets, I suppose, as well. So 3.3 is the first time we're going to see a full planet. It's going to have bodies of water, procedural cities, and NPCs on the ground, as well as flora and quite possibly fauna at this point as well. Now, in CitizenCon 2017, we saw Oni crabs, little kind of floaty, psychic crabby things that were around Hurston. So hopefully we will see them in 3.3 as well. I really am looking forward to aliens on the ground, little alien creatures. Although I'm genuinely most excited about patch 3.2 in June this year, 3.3 is definitely going to be where the game opens up socially with those extra locations, with Hurston, that whole planet, and voiceover IP in-game. Voiceover IP is awesome and great as well, don't get me wrong, but that voiceover IP is essential for the kind of game that Star Citizen is trying to accomplish. For the MMO aspect of the game, communication is essential. Let's not forget as well that Object Container Streaming 2 is likely to give us the biggest performance gains of any patch to date, and may even allow for capital ships like the Idris and Javelin in the Persistent universe soon after. Every month we have a giveaway. For January, it's for a Hammerhead gunboat, donated by our featured org, IDF, the Intergalactic Defence Force. They are a lawful org that focus on trade, escorting, security, and teamwork, but will dabble in kind of every area of the game. Links below if you're interested in checking them out. They do have an active Discord now, and they are playing 3.0, so check them out. All you need to do, however, to be in for a chance of winning that Hammerhead is be subscribed to my YouTube channel, and then comment on any of my Star Citizen content during the month. Do you have any questions about Star Citizen or Squadron 42, or anything that we talked about, development or gameplay mechanics or whatever? Chuck them in the comments below. A special thank you to my Patreons for allowing me to create the amount of content I do. If you're interested in becoming one of them, you can find the links to Patreon as well as everything else we've discussed down below. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I'll see you in the verse.